Welcome to Year 2 Science Chemical Science Experiment, All Mixed Up by Mrs. Woodsmith. What happens when we mix materials?
What do cake, damper and Play-Doh have in common? They're all made out of flour.
Today we are going to be chemists.
Step 1. Gather ingredients. We will need 8 tablespoons of plain flour, 2 tablespoons of table salt, 60 milliliters of warm water, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil and food colouring. Step 2. Measuring out ingredients. First we must measure, then mix dry ingredients with dry ingredients, and in a separate bowl measure and mix wet ingredients. What happens if we don't follow the recipe? What happens if we add too much oil? What happens if we add too much flour? What happens if we add too much water? Step 3 is adding wet ingredients to dry ingredients. Why does the water need to be warm? What can you see happening when we mix the liquid with the salt? Can we separate the wet and dry ingredients easily? Step 4 is mixing. What do you notice happens when we mix the ingredients together? What words would you use to describe the mixture? Step 5 is adding colour.
Step 5 is adding colour. What happens when we add one colour? What happens if we mix the colours together? What do you notice about the amount of colour we need? What happens if we add too much colour?
Step 6, investigate. What is this stuff? What happens when we bend it? What happens when we twist it? What happens when we stretch it? What happens when we break it into smaller pieces?
Step 6.
Step 7 is recording our reflections. Using your reflection worksheet, write your name and the date and say how you feel. What did you learn? What did you like most? What did you think about this whole process?
So, what did you guys do today?
We made Play-Doh. And I'm still mixing.
Still mixing? How did you do it? Tell me. Talk me through the process.
So,
First, we added flour and salt together and mixed that in a bowl. We mixed it in a bowl. And then we mixed some water, oil, and food colouring.
olive oil. No, actually.
You can use any oil to make it. It doesn't really matter, except for spray oil.
And how does it feel?
It feels like dough.
And it can feel a little different. Yeah.
What do you mean by different?
Like sticky.
Sticky.
And have
Hard.
different textures.
And hard? Yours is hard?
Mine is soft, hers is hard, and hers is sticky.
Sticky.
Yours is this one over here.
Oh, that's yours. That's Mum.
And that
And
one
we
is
don't know how it feels
And
like.
that one was made with the right ingredients, wasn't it?
yes.
Was yours made with the right ingredients?
No.
But ours was fun to make. I flipped this one. She used
Can I have
my
a look at yours?
You dropped yours on the floor.
Oh my goodness,
I
it
feel
looks like
like
a
a
horror
wall.
movie.
Yeah.
How does yours feel?
Ah, very. Mine's feeling a little non-sticky now.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when you pull it and stretch it?
It gets non-sticky. Oh, JJ, yours is. It comes apart.
Comes apart? Can you put it back together?
Yep.
Yes.
Very easily. And if you want to, you can turn it into a sausage. That's the best part. Other than throwing it at the wall.